Alright, did the in-game gift stay? It did! Fantastic! So I don't have to mess with anything. This lovely rotational thing is going to have a couple of things for you guys to look at as we cast today, but I remind you all, this is the EIZO Holiday Brawl. Without them, we wouldn't be able to put on this tournament, so big shout out and thank you, of course, to EIZO. But spawning here in the bottom right corner of the map, see the blue Terran player from Axiom. Give it up for Heart.
In the middle left is the red Terran. It's Gumiho.
And, alright, so we've had a lot of Gumiho lately. Not so much Heart. He's been a bit of a recluse, and I know he's been avoiding playing a lot of these tournaments because he's been trying to make sure he's prepped and ready for things like back when it was the SSL qualifiers and GSL. And I don't know quite where his priorities lay at the moment, but I do know that Heart is a big competitor. Zombie and I, of course, had the lovely pleasure of meeting him when at MLG Anaheim. He's a really nice guy. A little bit bad at directions, but hey, who isn't?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I mean, he got, you know, wasn't that he got lost, was it?
It's like he went to like okay, the story is Hart went to the bathroom, or said he had to go to the bathroom, but instead of going to the nearest bathroom, he went to one like 3 hotels over because it was his, I think, or something. I don't know. But
yeah, because he went to his bathroom. I don't think he got lost, though.
I'm just saying, like, if we're right next to the Hilton, there's public bathrooms like in that lobby.
Yeah, I don't know. Poor Leisha's.
Well, not that that's going to reflect on his TVT at all, of course. This is a whole nother scenario, a whole nother can of worms. And I kind of like what Gumiho's doing. The double rack strat, this is really fun to see, but I also really like that he placed it over here. Less likely to get scouted, but also this, if he leaves it here, this covers like that drop vision that so often is just not had.
Oh, I don't know if he'll leave it over there.
I don't think he'll leave it up here, but I'm just like, if he does, it serves dual purposes.
Sure. Well, this double Reaper, well, it could be really dangerous. I mean, it looks like Heart's gonna go and like probably get the reactor on the racks here. And SCV pools and, you know, all that, of course, you could all go either way, really. Again, we've seen Reapers actually do a lot of damage in games, and we've seen Reapers die to SCVs, and we're like, what? That wasn't supposed to happen. What was up with that? But this is a pretty good build against what Heart is doing, and it's a good map for it. And I don't know why it is actually all that more common. I guess we like TVTs and Catalina don't happen like super often, but.
Well, I think this is already going to start running into some problems because Heart did not go for that faster reactor. It's an attack lab on the factory, and that actually, you know, I just finished saying that might not be a problem if he was going for Hellions, but I take that back because if you get a Banshee, that's great. The Banshee shuts down the Reapers without question. But of course, it's going to be quite some time before that happens, and without a Hellion to assist, Marines aren't going to stand up to what is a larger amount of Reapers.
Well, I mean, Tech Lab is, yeah, it only took a couple of seconds, and he automatically lifted off it, so he will be able to make Hellions once he realizes it is 2 racks Reaper. With these other 2 Reapers coming in here, of course, that's when you're going to realize it. Behind this, Gumiho is, of course, expanding. He's going to go up to 5 Reapers, and that should be it. How many people go up to 7? This is a surprise for Heart.
Oh, Gumiho keeping that 3rd Reaper alive is a really big deal. These are units that, of course, Snowball, you hear casters talk about all the time, and this is no exception. Keeping that 3rd Reaper alive is the difference of 2 volleying down the SCVs instead of 3. It's a huge DPS increase, and of course, oh, he's going to try and catch them with the SCVs. Corrals them into the Marines, but sadly, that is not going to be enough. Banshee's on the way. If you just buy enough time, if you just repair the SCVs, whatever the case may be, a Hellion pops out now, too. Can't quite get that money shot. Oh. But he will.
Oh, okay. Well, I got 1. All right, so that was 4. But Gumiho's actually gonna go with 2 more Reapers. I don't know. The Banshee is gonna pop out. It is a question of whether or not Heart tries to counterattack immediately with the Banshee.
Yeah, the clock is already ticking. As soon as that Banshee spawns, this becomes a lot easier to deal with. But of course, Reaper's still quite fast. They can maneuver around a Banshee, get some SCV kills, but they will die. No question about it.
Yeah, and they attack as the Banshee pops out. So.
Yeah.
He can still keep like these other 2 Reapers. It's gonna bring him to a total of 4 again. Yeah, the Reaper gets away. You can come back in later, and they're almost always gonna be somewhat potent. Like you can't cover all of Catalina, and that's why it's such a good map for going Reapers.
Absolutely.
So you could always jump in, get good scouting as well, and kill a couple more SCVs.
Well, turret's going down all over the place immediately, not going to risk taking any damage from that Banshee. And for Gumiho's sake, you might consider, like, okay, he invested so much gas in these Reapers, was it worth it? And for the time being, the answer, honestly, yes. You got about 6 SCV kills. He's still got those Reapers alive to defend against the ground push. And more importantly than this, he's got his command center down and an orbital finish at his natural. So while there is very large kill potential with a siege tank and 2 banshees, for the time being, Gumiho's gambit has certainly paid off.
Yeah, that is what's most worrying, is the 2 tank follow-up. We cast a couple TVTs like yesterday or whatever, and it just seems like the 2 tank follow-up usually doesn't kill anyone. It usually like soft contains at best, and otherwise like it is disregarded because they already have their own tank. But they were ending games, like they were straight up ending games, like whether it was a slow death or like really easy death. So we'll see what happens when Hart, does push. Still a little ways off. He should be pushing like.
Ooh, nice catch for the Banshee.
Yeah, very nice.
Well, scanning the main to see exactly what's going on. He's already scouted those turrets out. He brought the Banshee in the first time. It could not kill anything, so disengaged. Stim timing is going to look really nice here for Gumiho. For Heart's sake, I mean, he has kept it 1 base, folks, like, very much intentionally. It's not like some sort of, oh, I'm a little bit behind scenario. This is the borderline of what you would call a Terran all-in. With that other tank coming out, he's going to start pushing. There's the 2 tanks. There's, what, is it 2 or 3 Banshees? Going to be 3 Banshees in play. There's a lot of damage for what Hart has. And quite frankly, Gumiho, without his own tanks, is going to struggle against us, even with that stim.
Yeah. I mean, good micro, and the Marauders might be able to take out the tanks, but the Banshees had so much DPS, I'm actually more worried that they're left alive. No cloak, so, and
yeah, I just realized. Still, though, the damage quite scary as we see the Marines dissipating. If enough of these go down, there's nothing left to shoot the Banshee, of course, and then tanks can just fall back where the Marauders get picked off. So, for the sake of this attack, as we see, Gumiho's forces are dissipating. Stim's not done yet. +1 weapons finishes after everything dies. And there's not a lot of fluff for Hart, but 2 siege tanks is not going to be easy to overcome.
Yeah, he got rid of most of, like, the fodder that would protect the tanks, but he himself was not left with a whole lot. And trying to pull the SCVs, which isn't a bad idea. Again, without the fodder, like, SCVs are actually doing pretty well.
Another Banshee.
But yeah, 2 Banshees are still here, the Helens are still here, and Gumiho, I mean, it probably would have been a better option just to actually, once he lost that army that he did, to try and lift up and go to the main. And that sucks, because that means you are going to be soft contained, and maybe it's a slower death, but maybe, like, that would have been better chance of dying here.
Now that Stim is done, though, these tanks aren't going to quite have the free reign. As you said, there's not a lot of fluff, so pushing through 4 Marines to go focus on a tank, not the most impossible thing I've ever heard of. The one thing that is so scary, though, is there's no, like, the starport's only just finished. Just getting a Viking, which isn't a bad idea for the Banshees, but no medevac to drop on top of the tanks, no way to really close that gap. Certainly does not get easier for Gumiho, but Hart behind this throws out his command center. Hart says, I've done enough damage, I can start looking to play the macro game a little bit. And I like this move, because he's still continuing to pump a couple units across the map.
Oh, okay, well that's...
Yeah, no lift.
That's almost game. Unless there's like a really good counterattack that Hart has, which I don't see it. I mean, Gumiho.
One Viking to clear up 3 Banshees. I mean, even if the Banshee sat in range with the Viking the entire time, it's just going to take time. 3 Banshees are a lot of health to chew through. One finally goes down.
And he lost an orbital, so like that's 1 less scan every round.
Yeah, exactly. For Hart's sake, he's kind of getting to that point where he might want to consider disengaging. He's still going to try and do as much free damage as he can. But now that Gumiho's starting to get his own tanks out, it's going to start limiting the attack paths unless the Banshees can pick it off. Ooh.
That's so good.
Banshee for a tank trade, you've got to wonder if that's worth it, and I would say yes in this scenario. Another Banshee comes to the front line to replace the one that was lost. Tank still alive and available, but moving into tank fire of Hart.
That's it.
Good game. All right, Hart will take game number 1 off of Gumiho.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, well, the second map today, what do we have coming up for us? Overgrowth. Fantastic.